Business analytics, we know that it helps businesses solve their challenges by using data analytics tools and systems. But how exactly business analytics performs its role? Let us understand in this video. Hi, I am Chaitanya Gunti. I am a data analytics coach and the co-founder of Swachh Data Analytics Hub. I am on a mission to help 1 million young working professionals achieve career growth by learning the skills of data science and data analytics. In this video, let us understand the role of business analytics and how the role is performed in addressing the challenges faced by a business. The primary role of business analytics is to obtain insights from the data and convert those insights into trends and patterns that may affect a business, and then trying to see what are the possible measures the business can take in addressing those challenges. There are 4 steps involved in a business analytics solution to business. We can say business analytics model. These 4 steps are descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics, in brief, says what is the problem. It sees the historical data and tries to identify a pattern. Diagnostic analytics takes the insight from descriptive analytics and tries to identify any underlying cause behind that pattern. Predictive analytics builds further on the inputs provided by descriptive and diagnostic analytics and projects the future trends in case the underlying situation is not addressed. Finally, the prescriptive analytics helps find optimum measures to either fully address the challenge or reduce the impact of the challenge. Let us understand these 4 steps by taking an industry example. Let us say we have the management of Twitter, which has been recently appointed after the taking over of the company by Elon Musk. The management is interested in how to increase the revenues of the social media channel, how to address the challenge of dwindling user base, and what other measures can be taken so that Twitter begins to dominate the marketplace of social media channel industry. They may hire an in-house business analytics professional team or may take the case of outsourcing to other companies, third parties. In either case, these are the steps in simple terms followed by the business analytics team. First step is they gather data. Either they themselves collect the data or they take the help of secondary data. So in this case, most likely there is a huge secondary database available that can be utilized in understanding the past patterns and trends. This data involves the data pertaining to Twitter, that is its user subscription, its revenues generated through advertisements and other sources of revenue and expenses, as well as that of the competitors, such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. The descriptive analytics helps in identifying certain key measures. Say what is the average year-on-year increase in sales or the median value of user subscription or any variation or dispersion or skewness from these mean or median measures. So I'm talking technically, but in simple terms, we can understand what was the average in terms of sales, if that is the challenge, average increase in subscription base year on year or month on month, and what is the deviation from the average? Is there a huge deviation? For example, in 1 month, there is a huge change in the user base or huge change in revenues vis-a-vis the other 11 months. So that deviation, is it a very high deviation from the average, or is it normally distributed around the average or the median? Second step is, if there has been a sudden change in the trend, like sudden increase or decrease in the user base or increase or decrease in revenues, what might be the cause? Is it internal to Twitter? Maybe a management policy, like for example, their policy of uh, levying a subscription fee. So similar to that, has there been any management decision taken by the company in the past which affected that sudden change in behavior or pattern? So the cause, identifying the underlying cause, and maybe there can be two different parameters, and there is a certain correlation observed. One is increasing, the other is also increasing. Let us say there has been a drastic reduction in subscription base. However, the revenues of the company have not got affected. So there is a negative correlation between these two. And in order to identify the cost, so the cause of revenues is not directly linked with subscription increase or decrease, or maybe it is related. So these underlying causes, finding them is part of diagnostic analytics that can be done by data mining and other data processing methods. The third step is predicting the future. If suppose Twitter continues to follow the existing policies and measures, is it going to increase the revenues in future, or is it going to have an opposite effect? And also, the policies and measures taken by rivals such as Facebook, such as YouTube, such as LinkedIn, what is the impact that is going to have on Twitter, provided Twitter is not taking any difference in strategy or in plan? That will be the study of predictive analytics, the future projections, forecasting. So based on the past trend, and after finding out the underlying cause, what is the impact of that underlying cause in future on that parameter? Will it be huge, or will it be less? For example, we can say that the last 2 years, the world has seen rapid changes in businesses and industries because of COVID. So if the revenues or other parameters find their cause in the COVID situation, in future, even if the company follows the same policies, there is a less likelihood of those parameters getting affected because of COVID pandemic. Because in future, there may be a chance that COVID will not have the detrimental effect which it had in the past 2 years. So like this, the predictive analytics tries to find out future projections based on the past trends. And finally, combining these three insights, the prescriptive analytics helps management arrive at measures that they can implement in order to either address the challenge of maybe reduction in subscription base, or try to see how the revenues of Twitter can be increased, or how the market position of the company can be increased vis-a-vis its competitors. So there it goes. First, identify the path pattern related to one or more causes. See how those causes will affect the parameter in future if no measures are taken. And finally, take optimum measures and see whether the parameters are having any benefit or any reduction in challenge. So I hope in simple terms, I was able to explain the descriptive analytics to a person who wants to progress into this career. If you found this useful, do share in the comments below.